My name is Chris Shear, and I'm doing a podcast for LME 508. This is my book, reference book analysis. I did a high school library, Seneca High School. The first thing I noticed about the collection was that the average age was over 20 years old for the reference collection. I know the past librarian was very proud of the fact they had so many titles, but there were books dating back to the 60s and had not been checked out since then. There are books older than that, obviously, but she had many, many titles that hadn't been checked out in 30, 40, 50 years, but kept them on the shelf. So the weeding process began a couple years ago, and some books that I think that should be added are here on my list, starting with the World Almanac and Book of Facts. Um, it is exactly what it says. It's just a book of facts from 2015. The facts actually are from 2014. And this is one of the books that a lot of the kids like to check out and just see different records of people who won awards, or, you know, they really like to look into the sports aspect and see the who won leagues or MVPs. The next is the Old Farmer's Almanac, the 2015. This one, I like it because it gives a kind of a forecast for the upcoming year. Uh, how accurate it is, it's weather. You don't know what it's going to do in Kentucky until it does it. But it gives long-term forecasts. It usually tells about precipitation, and the last few years, I know for a fact, it's been pretty accurate. It's talked about having more precipitation than normal and a lot more snow. Kids like to get into this because they like to see what's coming and to see if actually somebody can do that. The next three references are dictionaries and a thesaurus. They kind of go without explanation of why or what they are. I put them in there because the library currently does not have any at all. When they used to have a nice collection of them, then the school switched to class sets, and slowly but surely the class sets have disappeared. I know at one point I had about I don't know, 8 to 10 of these in my English class, and last time I looked, I was down to one of them. They disappear, they walk out, they get torn up, and so on. The next one is, well, what I consider a handbook. It's basically the AP English course wrapped into one. One of the big pushes in our school is the AP program, and they are pushing the test. As a matter of fact, this testing starts this week, and they will really they've been studying for a while for it, but this would have given them an upper hand. The National Geographic Traveler, Spain. We have a lot of kids who take Spanish, and they oftentimes have trips to Europe over the summer, sometimes on spring break. Spain is one of the trips. This is would be considered geographical reference. It tells all about Spain, the attractions. It does not get into stuff like hotels and stuff, but it does tell about the attractions and what to do and what to see while you're in Spain, as well as gives history and some customs while you're there. The Close Encounters of the Fatal Kind, Suspicious Deaths, Mysterious Murders, and Bizarre Disappearance in UFO History would be biographical reference because it goes back and tells tales of different pilots or boat captains and so forth that have disappeared or died because of what they believe are UFO encounters. Several of the stories actually took place in Kentucky. There was some big to-do about Fort Knox and a disc that was hovering, and they sent a couple planes up, and they were, well, they immediately crashed for one reason or another. And the one that made it the farthest ended up dying because he got too high in the air. He was chasing it, and the altitude just got too much. But I put that in there because who doesn't like UFOs? This is something that kids could get interested in. Science fiction, especially with the new Star Wars coming out. You know, you have your aliens type thing coming out. So the next one is Photos Germany, and they are the authority in travel books. They actually go as far to recommend restaurants and hotels, as well as provide the information that the National Geographic Traveler did. They go the step farther and have personal reviews of the actual cities and things that are going on there. Then you have the National Geographic Complete Survival Manual. This goes through different climate zones and areas like deserts and tropical rainforest or deciduous forest, and teaches you everything you might need to know to survive in that. We have a lot of kids who are interested in camping, and we also have a lot of kids who do work with greenhouses. So this talks a lot about plants and being outside, and it goes right along with our agriculture program. The next book about the White House. It's a very simple book. Not all of our students are very good readers. Most of them, as a matter of fact, are below grade level. This one is written probably on a 3rd or 4th grade level, but it varies. The information's good. It's mostly funny stories about things that happen in the White House. Everybody takes the president so serious. This is a good way to see them in their moments. Sharks and rays. It's quite simply, it's everything you need to know about sharks and rays. This kind of goes along with our agricultural program, but this is on the other side. This would be more oceanography. They do a lot of animals, and they do units on the ocean and the fish, the plant life in the ocean. This one would be sharks and rays. Then I get into bibliography, colonial American literature for youth, a guide and resource book. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a bibliography of literature for American youth. It'd be a good reference for teachers looking for books to use in their classroom. And then you have the Encyclopedia of Harlem, of the Harlem Renaissance. A lot of African American students in our school, and Harlem, as we know, is a very heavily populated African American area of New York, and this can be a cultural background for them. And then you have Image Makers, a bibliography of American presidential campaign biographies. The presidential campaign or presidential race is starting to heat up. People are starting to announce. People are starting to read books more about presidents and what's going on. Well, here's a complete list of the campaigns so that they can be up to date. The list only goes up to, I think, 1995 is when it was. But you know, they'll make more and they'll add more. There's always books being written about presidents. All right. Thank you very much.